We've all had that one teammate running around with a flashlight like they're an Avenger, only to get folded like a lawn chair in 5 seconds and end up on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the solo queue experience. I shouldn't have to explain Dead by Daylight to you, but just in case, 5 generators, 4 survivors, 1 killer, do the gens, open the gate, and escape. Pretty simple, right? Well, you have 2 options when you play Survivor. Option 1, you're frolicking through Dead Dog Saloon with 3 of your friends in a Discord chat. Everyone is communicating, everyone knows what's going on. Gens are flying, and most of the time, everyone gets out alive. And then there's option 2.
You're trapped in hell, a place where your teammates somehow forget you exist the second you get on a hook. You're hanging from a 5-foot meat hook, screaming in agony
While Claudette is crouching somewhere behind a rock studying the local wildlife. And let's say someone finally saves you. Well, congratulations. You're now getting tunneled out the game because nobody communicates that maybe, just maybe, someone should take a hit for you, okay? Instead, your teammates let the entire team die, and then they spend endgame trying to rizz up the killer for a mercy escape. The biggest problem with solo queue isn't even your teammates. It's that behavior has to balance around the possibility of 4 survivors sitting in a Discord communicating perfectly. And I get it. You can't ignore survive with friends because coordinated teams are incredibly strong. The problem is that solo queue players end up paying the price for it. A killer that balances against a 4-man survive with friends can feel absolutely miserable against 4 random players who have never met each other in their lives. Solo queue survivors are basically collateral damage in an endless balancing war between behavior and Discord. Period. Let's say you get home from work and decide to play a few DBD games, right? Had a long day, worked very hard, 8 hours on the shift. Well, you log into a game. What information do you get? A couple little icons in the bottom left of your screen. That's it. You know who's injured, you know who's hooked, and how many generators are left. Meanwhile, Survive with Friends opponents are calling out every pallet, every killer location, every perk, and probably discussing what they're ordering for dinner off of DoorDash. Some people say voice chat would fix this. I say absolutely not. Can you imagine voice chat in Dead by Daylight? I mean, the endgame chat is already unhinged enough. Imagine them just saying it during the game. I don't need somebody screaming in their microphone because they got hit through a window. So instead, solo queue players are left trying to read minds. At that point, just bring a hatch offering and pray. Because if anyone deserves to escape, it's the guy who brought it, right? I mean, come on. Nobody would even know you brought it anyway because half the people in pregame chat are physically incapable of reading. So good luck. Now imagine, it's 2026. You see Dead by Daylight on sale and think, hey, this looks fun. Well, you install the game. Immediately, you're hit with hundreds of perks, dozens of killers, dozens of survivors, and enough mechanics to make a college textbook look jealous. So you queue up as a survivor because surely having teammates will make this experience easier. Well, you're wrong. You load into your first match and immediately discover that killer knows exactly what they're doing while your teammates appear to be playing with the steering wheel. Nobody explains anything. Nobody communicates. And before long, you're sitting there wondering how this game is remotely fair and whether Steam still offers refunds. Welcome to Dead by Daylight in the Big 2-6, boy, where solo queue is still miserable, your teammates are your biggest enemy, and somehow the best communication system in the game is aggressively pointing at things. But hey, at least we're getting better graphics, right?